Hello and welcome to the power electronics lab, and we will be doing the third experiment today, and it is to study the UJT based relaxation oscillator. This is not relation but rather it is a relaxation oscillator, and using it as a firing circuit to trigger the SCR. So the objective of the experiment is basically to study UJT relaxation oscillator and to study the UJT based trigger circuit, and then use it for phase control switching of a SCR. Okay. So what is a UJT? It is basically unijunction transistor and widely used as an oscillator. Construction wise it is bit different from a normal bipolar transistor or field effect transistor. It has got only one junction. This you could see here, only one PN junction is there, although there are 3 terminals. Okay. So in the first part of the experiment we would see how a UJT can be used as an relaxation oscillator. Okay. So we would actually be generating pulses at regular interval, and we can change the frequency of the pulses generated by the circuit. So that is what is called oscillator. So this is the circuit for the oscillator, the figure 2 in the sheet that has been provided to you. This is the UJT. So 2 capacitors are there and a 12 volt DC supply is connected here, and this capacitor gets charged by way of these by way of these 2 resistors. One of them is a fixed resistor of 2.7 kilo ohm, the other one is a variable resistor. Okay. And by changing the value of resistance we can actually change the timing of the charging of the capacitor and thereby the frequency of the oscillator output. Okay. And here we would be getting the pulses. So let us see it on the circuit. We have already connected the circuit here. So this is the circuit. So 12 volt DC supply is being given here. This is the supply. Okay, a regulated DC power supply which can vary from 0 to 30 volt. So 12 volt, around 12 volt you could see here has been given, and this is given. This is used to charge these 2 capacitors. One is this, the second one is this, by way of a fixed resistor and a rheostat. This is a rheostat, only the knob is visible. The other end of the rheostat is below this sheet. Okay. While the UJT so this is your UJT. Okay. So 3 terminal device. Fine. So just see, we have connected the circuit as shown in the diagram in the sheet. Okay. And see here, this is the circuit. Okay. So now if I operate it, you see this is the waveform I am getting. So the yellow waveform is the output of the oscillator, and this is the voltage across the capacitor. So by changing the knob, the pot knob, we can change the frequency of the oscillator. You see. Okay, this is being changed. So the timing of charging and discharging is getting changed by way of this pot. Okay. And thereby we are changing the frequency of the output pulses that are being obtained at the output of the UJT oscillator. Now the same circuit can be used to turn on an SCR. So now we will look into that, how we can use the same circuit. We will do slight modification. You could see here, just see. So instead of this 12 volt, now we would be giving the supply to this oscillator circuit by way of this auto transformer. Okay, because we need to synchronize the input voltage and the firing signal. This is important. So for that we need to give supply to the SCR. So this is the SCR and this is the load, and the same supply is being used to obtain a 12 volt rectified voltage here by way of this diode. Okay, so this diode helps in rectifying the AC voltage that is appearing, and this voltage is then used in a similar fashion like this. Okay, so let us see how it works here. So the connection is suitably being changed. Okay, so this is the input supply, as you could see here. इसको थोड़ा आगे पीछे कीजिए ताकि फ़र्क पता चले. हाँ, so you could see here this yellow waveform is the voltage across the load. Okay, तो RL लोड है क्या?